What do a Gulf Coast blizzard, frozen Texas cities, and ice-coated power lines all have in common? The answer will shock you, and the next Arctic storm could bring it closer than you think. Stay tuned until the end because the information could save you thousands of dollars or even your very life. When people hear winter storm, they think inconvenience, canceled plans, icy roads, a few cold days. But history tells a darker story. Every time Arctic air escapes south, it leaves behind more than snow. It leaves blackouts, frozen cities, preventable deaths, and hard lessons we keep relearning. Tonight, Ugly History revisits the past, the present, and the storm now approaching, to ask one question. Are we prepared, or are we about to repeat history? Meteorologists are tracking a powerful Arctic outbreak developing across North America. A mass of bitterly cold air, normally locked near the North Pole, is once again breaking free. This surge is being driven by a stretched polar vortex, a disruption in the upper atmosphere that allows Arctic air to spill southward instead of staying contained. As this cold collides with moisture from the Gulf of Mexico, conditions are forming for widespread snow, ice, freezing rain, and dangerous wind chills across multiple regions, including areas that rarely experience sustained cold. History shows us that the most dangerous storms aren't always the coldest. They're the ones that hit places unprepared for them. Arctic outbreaks are not new. They are part of Earth's natural climate system. What is consistent across history is what happens when cold overwhelms infrastructure, homes, and emergency systems. Cold doesn't need snow to destroy a city. Sometimes, ice is worse. In January 2007, a massive ice storm struck the central and eastern United States, coating entire regions in thick layers of freezing rain. Ice accumulation, up to 4 inches. Deaths, 85 plus across the US and Canada. Infrastructure damage, hundreds of thousands without power. Damages, hundreds of millions of dollars. Ice snapped power lines like twigs, crushed trees, and turned roads into glass. Entire communities were cut off for days, some for weeks. History reminds us, cold doesn't need to break temperature records to break systems. "14 years later, another Arctic outbreak became one of the most devastating winter disasters in U.S. history. In February 2021, prolonged Arctic air plunged Texas and surrounding states into extreme cold, in some areas 40 degrees below normal. Temperatures, near or below zero in cities unaccustomed to it. Power outages, nearly 10 million people affected. Deaths, over 210 confirmed cold-related deaths in Texas alone. The power grid failed. Water systems collapsed. Pipes burst across entire neighborhoods. Hospitals struggled. Families burned furniture to stay warm. This wasn't just about weather, it was about infrastructure fragility, policy decisions, and a lack of winterization. And the most tragic part? Many of these deaths were preventable. In January 2025, a historic Arctic intrusion collided with Gulf moisture and produced something few had ever seen: a blizzard along the Gulf Coast. Cities built for heat and humidity suddenly faced snow totals exceeding 13 inches in some areas, amounts that rival northern winter storms. Snowfall, up to 13.4 inches. Deaths, at least 13. Power outages, 77,000 customers. Damage, estimated $200 million. Roads were impassable. Emergency services were delayed. Power failures left families without heat in homes never designed for freezing conditions. This wasn't just a weather event, it was a stress test that exposed how quickly modern life can unravel when cold arrives where it doesn't belong. During Arctic outbreaks, temperatures can fall to historic extremes, even in major U.S. cities. Minneapolis, St. Paul, minus 41 degrees Fahrenheit. Chicago, minus 25 degrees Fahrenheit. New York City, minus 15 degrees Fahrenheit. Dallas, Fort Worth, minus 8 degrees Fahrenheit. These numbers aren't forecasts, they're reminders. They show what has already happened when Arctic air reaches far enough south. Every storm on this list shares one truth. The damage wasn't just caused by cold, it was magnified by unpreparedness. Here are the things you need to know to protect your loved ones and your home. Insulate exposed pipes, especially in garages and exterior walls. Let faucets drip during extreme cold. Keep indoor temperatures consistent. Know how to shut off your water if pipes burst. Charge devices and power banks. Have flashlights. Avoid candles when possible. Never use grills, ovens, or generators indoors. Carbon monoxide kills silently during winter outages. Avoid unnecessary travel. Keep emergency supplies in your vehicle. Blankets, water, food. Never leave a vehicle running in an enclosed space. Dress in layers and cover exposed skin. Learn the signs of hypothermia and frostbite. Check on elderly neighbors and those without reliable heat. If you're cold, they're cold. Bring pets indoors. Arctic storms don't arrive as surprises. They arrive as warnings, written again and again in history. From frozen power grids to silent homes, from record lows to record losses, the lesson is clear. Cold doesn't have to be deadly, unless we ignore what history already told us. The storm is coming. Whether the outcome becomes another chapter of ugly history, or a story of preparation, is up to us. Which historic Arctic storm shocked you the most? Comment below, and don't forget to subscribe for more ugly history revisited stories.